All right, good Friday afternoon. I am meteorologist Jeff Porter. We are streaming live from our WWMT Facebook page. We're also streaming live from YouTube on what is an increasingly snowy Friday afternoon. It took a little bit longer to get here as we've been battling some dry air, but we finally been able to overcome that. And now, my friends, snow fans especially, it is game on. We're going to show you what radar looks like. We'll walk you through some things on my Twitter profile regarding snowfall expectations, where we'll be by tonight, what our temperatures are going to look like by the end of the day tomorrow, because they're going to be completely different from where they are, certainly by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. I have the comments section on, so as you jump in here and join our live stream that was scheduled, I'll be able to acknowledge you, give you a shout out, and try to answer your questions as we go ahead and move forward. But, you know, in moments like these, it's all about the radar. So we want to take you to the radar, and then we'll show a few other things and move forward here, try to give you as much information as possible. And Maria, hello. Trenton, what's going on? A little busy here in the digital studio, but doing good. So just give me 1 second to change our source, and then we'll go from there. Okay, there it is for you, live Doppler radar. One of the things that's been ongoing this morning is any kind of breaks in the precipitation canopy have really filled in here and filled in dramatic ways in northern Indiana as this storm strengthens and really gets its legs underneath itself. Kimberly, good afternoon. Kenneth, good afternoon. When can I ride my snowmobile? Not yet. Maybe some point tomorrow. James, good afternoon. Hope you're staying warm as well. But what I see here is an explosion of rain north side of Muncie, south side of Fort Wayne. By the way, about 295 of you on here right now. Really, really appreciate your company. Michelle, the answer is yes. Wants to know, is Kalamazoo going to get any real snow? Yes. The answer, no doubt, is yes. Katrina, good afternoon. Karen, good afternoon. I have family planning on driving up from Three Rivers on Monday. What do you think it'll be like by then? We'll be in our lake effect mode by then. Not saying you can't do it, but I think the roads will not be great. I think we're going to move to an environment here where we're just going to have stuff on the roads, and it's going to be like that for a while. But again, as we get back to the radar, the explosion of rain here, south side of Fort Wayne, the time you get north of US 30, that's going to be as snow. And now that we've pierced that dry layer, again, I'll show you what Kalamazoo is looking like right now. Now that we've pierced that dry layer, it is game on. So it's going to be snow, snow, snow from here on out. And you can actually see the snow here in our camera in Kalamazoo going sideways. That's reflective of some of the winds that we've seen, already in excess of about 40 miles per hour. So that, of course, an emerging story. Kim, good afternoon. BB, good afternoon. Jennifer Jensen, good afternoon. She says she's not looking forward to the weather. I totally understand that. Other thing to keep in mind here, if you look at Allegan and Berry counties, you're still trying to pierce that dry layer. A little bit farther north of I-96 hasn't been much ongoing. I will tell you this, and again, more than 400 of you are joining us right now. We had lightning on the north side of Chicago earlier this morning. So I think as we get into later this afternoon and into this evening, when we're talking about 1 inch to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates, we could have some thunder snow. So if you hear thunder, or if you're wondering what's going on, that very well could be it. So we do want you to be aware that it is a possibility. Jennifer, good afternoon from Portage. Right now with sideways snow in Charleston Township. That's Phil Larson. Phil, thank you. Judy, afternoon. Craig Johnson, good afternoon. Krista, good afternoon. Orlo, great hearing from you, Orlo. So again, I think the developments here on live Doppler radar, very encouraging. We took a live shot out of Madison from the Capitol building, the state Capitol in Wisconsin at the beginning of our show, News Channel 3 Live at noon, and that really looked rather thick with snow. So I think that's indicative of things to come here. Shelly, hello. Lacey, good afternoon from the Pullman area. Karen, good afternoon from Kalamazoo. Karen Peck in the house. Okay, let's change our stories here. This time I'm going to show you what hour by hour is looking like. So here we go, 5 o'clock. We've got snow everywhere. This is certainly ripe time for some of those inch per hour snowfall rates, if not in excess of that. Couple of other things to keep in mind here. Notice the temperatures, 32, 33 degrees, 33, 34. This is going to be a really heavy, wet snow. We had this on Tuesday. We're going to have it again. So if you have any questions about should I be shoveling my driveway or should I not, if you have heart issues, respiratory issues, the answer is no, you should not be shoveling. So try to get some help in your neighborhood or from some friends or for some relatives. Don't go out there and get yourself caught in a position you don't want to be in. Sheila says it's cold. Yes, it certainly is, Sheila. Sheila, I think it's a wonderful time here to go ahead and check out what's doing in Battle Creek. So let's go ahead and take you to the Cereal City now. Yes, it is snowing from high above the McCamley Plaza. Yeah, I'm looking at this, though, and, roads still look okay. So I guess if you do have to be out and about here for the next little bit, I guess another hour or so is okay. But anything beyond that, I wouldn't recommend traveling. Certainly tonight. I say the same thing tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take you up to Allegan. What is the story in Allegan? All right, flakes coming down here. We do have a decent amount of travel there still on M89. The other thing to keep in mind here, once we start getting to late tomorrow and beyond, we're going to be building ice on all of our rivers and our inland lakes and even at the lakeshore. So I think by the time we get into some point next week, some of that ice will start to be safe to go out on. When you're thinking about ice fishing, all those other kinds of things. So that is going to be an emerging story. All right, here's what we're going to do for a moment. We're going to take this off the screen. I do want to show you a few things on my Twitter page, talk a little bit about the snowfall expectations. Harley Cowan says smells like blizzard conditions later. 100%. Harley, good afternoon. James Fee saying, how are you going to play golf? The answer is we're not going to play golf, at least in the short term. Okay, so here's what we want to do. We want to add in my Twitter feed for a moment. So we're going to remove our live image here from Allegan, put myself back on the screen. We're going to go ahead and add my Twitter page right now. And so here's the deal. As far as this 4 to 9 inch thing, I still suspect somewhere 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we can mix in some rain, Sturgis area, Branch County, even lower Calhoun County. So I still think that 4 to 8 or that 4 to 9 inch window works. Now, for the rest of the area, I went with 9 to 14 this morning. I did not change that. That was for Kalamazoo and everyone else. I still think generally that works. I might lop off an inch here of the lower end and of the higher end category just because we're getting this later start. I still think, though, we can get to 12 or 13 inches by the end of the day tomorrow. But that's just my gut based on this slightly later start. Now, the other window that we have here is 7 to 12. I would look at places like Three Rivers, Battle Creek, Marshall, Charlotte. You're sort of in that mix. All right, what else did I want to show you on my Twitter page? All sorts of good stuff here. We'll move you a little bit farther forward. Let's see here. That's pretty funny. Let's take a look at this. A couple things to keep in mind here. We have blizzard warnings, northeastern lower. We also have blizzard warnings just north of Milwaukee as those easterly winds come howling right off of Lake Michigan. Notice much of the state of Iowa under blizzard warnings. The Iowa caucus is not that far from now. So that is a massive story. Then the rest of the lower Ohio Valley, on the underside of our winter storm warnings, we have those winter weather advisories for less snow, northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, over to Detroit, over in the Thumb region, and then even farther south of that, what are we looking at here? We're looking at wind advisories. So, I said this morning, and I'll say this again, it's not a West Michigan thing. It's not a Michigan thing. It's a Midwest thing, right? So a lot of us are dealing with the same system. So I wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, what else did I want to show you? This was Notre Dame a little bit earlier. Their visibilities have been about a mile to a mile and a quarter. So they were seeing snow a little bit sooner than us. And certainly that is the case right now. Silver Beach visibility down to about a half mile. This view from our partners at EarthCam. And we'll also do this for a quick moment because I think this is really important here. Then we'll get you over to our 7-day. We're going to start the day tomorrow right around 30 degrees. By the way, about 320 of you on here right now. I do appreciate your company. Carolyn, good afternoon. Kara, here we go, is right. Gene telling us the temperature right now in Oshtemo is 33. Thank you, Gene. Dan Miller, good afternoon. Lisa, good afternoon. So we're going to start your Saturday. We're going to start your Saturday right around 30 degrees. By late day and into early evening, we're going to see these teens start to settle into the area, first south of I-94 and then farther northward. What the cold air does is it actually wraps around Lake Michigan. It wraps around the southern side and then streams in from northern Indiana. So at this point, you factor in our sustained winds, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Let's say it's 20 degrees, 18 degrees, 17 degrees, something like that. It will feel like zero. And from this point forward, we're going to be talking about, and especially as we get you into Sunday, we're going to be talking about here wind chills between -10 and -30 degrees. So that is a really big story Sunday night and then all the way through Wednesday. Okay, let's go ahead and get you over to your Sealy Auto Group 7-day forecast. Remember, we're still in a weather alert day. We'll continue to be in a weather alert day tomorrow. Richard Hardy saying driving near the Grand Rapids Airport for work. When will it deteriorate? I would say, Richard, after 3 o'clock, please be careful. Byron in the house from Battle Creek. Byron, good afternoon. James Fee, good afternoon. Daryl, good afternoon. Michelle says, hey, she's not ready. You know, I guess if you had to go to the store and you haven't gone yet, you could do that in the next hour or so. But after that, I wouldn't recommend it. One of the things I did do for News Channel 3 Live at noon is see that 15 for a high on Sunday. Actually lowered it to 10 degrees. So the low and the high, exactly the same. We might spend a lot of the day on Sunday in the upper single digits. But check this out. 0 Sunday night, 0 Monday night, 0 Tuesday night. And I think, again, outlying areas in between lake effect bands, with a fair amount of snow on the ground, we could easily be looking at being -10 or -15. Not the wind chill, but the actual temperature. There will be some lake effect Saturday night, about maybe 1 to 3 inches. Lake effect Sunday, about 1 to 3 inches, especially near and west of US 131. Monday, some lighter snows. I think the lighter snows continue Tuesday. However, there is a bit of a southwest wind showing up on Tuesday, so that may move some of the snow north of Kalamazoo. But then we've got another system that's going to be moving in as we get you into Thursday. That will flare up the lake effect again. So something else to keep in mind there. Okay, let's take my Twitter feed, and we'll just take that off the screen for a moment. I did want to get you back and show you some of these live looks. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Again, there is Allegan taking now back to the Cereal City. We'll be able to show you that right now. I think this is even a little bit worse than it was before. Take me off the screen here for just a second. Okay, that looks much better. Now we have Battle Creek in a larger view. And okay, taking out Kalamazoo. And again, I think this is the snowiest of the entire morning. So a couple things to keep in mind here. Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson will be resuming our cut-ins starting at 2 o'clock as we move forward with our CBS programming here. On the hour, every hour. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We have our newscast, News Channel 3 Live at 5, as typically scheduled, so you'll see him then. Meteorologist Will Haney is out on the roads. He was in the Matawan area. He may be moving around to show the different conditions. He'll be a wonderful watch, wonderful follow on his social media pages as well. We have other photographers that are out and about. One of them was driving in the Schoolcraft area down 131 during our News Channel 3 Live at Noon show. So we're going to try to give you as many looks as possible. Jennifer, howdy. Katrina, howdy from the Albion area. Susan, good afternoon, says, I'm looking out my window here in Battle Creek and the snow is coming down. So, all right, let's see who else is on here. Jennifer Jensen, good afternoon. Heather, good afternoon. She says, it's a perfect day to bake some bread. Yeah, I totally believe that. So look, if you don't have to travel late afternoon and beyond, we really don't recommend it. The other thing to keep in mind is, while it's going to be a heavy, wet snow for the next several hours, tomorrow it'll be a lighter snow, tinier, fluffier flakes, a drier snow as our colder air starts to work in, and that's really when we're going to have our visibility issues. So again, tomorrow we're recommending not traveling. Meteorologist Colin Rogers, he and I will be working together tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. So we will tag team the weather together from 6 to 8. We want you to know about that. And then later in the day, for News Channel 3 Live at 6, it's typically with Will Haney. Will Haney will be joined by Keith Thompson. So we're going to be working from all angles here, one way or the other throughout the weekend. We'll get you through these couple of weather alert days. Thank you so much for joining me right here on our Facebook page. It'll be a great source of information throughout the afternoon. Thank you for joining me on our YouTube page. We love doing this. We'll continue to do these live streams here from our digital studio, certainly all of next week. We'll get back in here tomorrow and give you some updates as well. Again, please keep it safe, safety first. If you think the snow is too heavy to shovel, it probably is, and get some help. Shoot, I would love to come to your neighborhood. I would help you out too. So yeah, Keith will be here from our digital studio later this evening, but look for that first update from Keith in about 46, 47 minutes, about 1:13 on the clock right now. 245 of you join us on this live stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll get you through this storm together, and then we'll tackle next week. But snow fans, skiers, people who like to ice fish, people who like to snowshoe, snowmobile, all those kinds of things. It's our weather, right? It's finally our weather. All right. Be careful this afternoon and this evening. I'll see you on social media later this evening and certainly tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. All right. Please be safe. I'll talk to you soon.